and we are back again for our next audio. This one is going to, let me look at the title here, is I don't know what to do. So when I work with people with codependency, some of it is the codependency and some of it is actually having to having too much social media. So we have all these short videos now, with I don't know if they call it short form content compared to long form content, and people are consuming this at a very high rate. And there is an algorithm that shows you like three not so exciting uh, clips and then a more exciting clip, and then it'll show you a commercial because it's actually trying to get you to be frustrated. So then when you see the positive audio, then they send you a commercial that you're going to buy that item to deal with your frustration. It's a real thing. Um, that also creates a problem because we're looking outside of ourselves to be entertained. We're looking outside of ourselves for answers, and we're looking outside of ourselves as what's everybody else doing, and I'm going to do that instead of coming more inside, connecting to your intuition, to your heart's desires, to your knowing and your wisdom. And what is it that you need to be doing and having and receiving in your life to develop a life you want? So with this audio of I don't know what to do, many times when we have codependency is we kind of get in this paralysis of not being able to make decisions for ourselves. We may be very good at making decisions for other people. We may be very good at telling other people what they need to do and how to fix their problems. And it can also be much funner to solve everybody else's problems than to solve our own. For some people, this can also show up with ADHD, is that you can do all sorts of stuff for other people, but you seem to have a little bit of a grind or some procrastination when it comes to yourself. So that's a little bit different than codependency, but you can't have two things going on at the same time. And so this one will work whether it's ADHD, whether you got a little codependency. The theme is I don't know what to do. This is going to help resolve some of that. And this would also would be a great audio to do if you have a big decision. Maybe you have a job interview you need to go to. Maybe you're not sure if you need to end a relationship. Maybe you're just not sure, what car do I want to buy? This would be a good audio to go through to clear out the fears, the doubts, and the things that are kind of standing in your way of your inner intuition. So we have our intellect, which is like our intellectual wisdom. We have our heart, which is our knowing wisdom. And then we have our gut wisdom. It's like, that just doesn't feel right. When we do something, how does that feel to us? Our body is just a big bag of sensory apparatus to help us feel our way through life, not think our way through life, not watch other people. Not that we can't learn from other people, because we do. But when we really get clear on what our heart's desires are, we're living off of our own values, our life takes on new meaning. So find a comfortable place and we'll get right into the audio of I don't know what to do. Welcome to the next audio in the codependency series. And thank you for those who have emailed me with your topics. So let's jump right in. I'll do the disclaimer that I'm not a doctor or a counselor and I offer no advice. All of the resources provided on unlocking resilience or their agents are for educational purposes only. Unlocking resilience takes no accountability for the use or misuse of the resources provided. You, as a consumer of such resources, take full responsibility for your life choices. Listening to this session or using the replay gives me permission to work with your superconscious. And as you breathe, inhaling and exhaling, allow the exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. And bring your attention back into this present moment. Being in your body right here, right now. Often our attention is in our head as we're thinking and trying to figure things out. And as you breathe, your attention moves from your head down into your heart center. placing your hand on your heart just for added focus. And as you keep your focus in your heart area, now you begin to feel your life and your body during this session, the good and maybe the not so good. And as we witness it, superconscious can shift it for us. Emotions are not the enemy. Suppression is usually the problem. And you are not the problem. The heart awareness is always in the now. It houses our true desire. It houses our wisdom. What happens is some part of us can get stuck in the past or stuck in what is called an ego state. And this is what keeps us stuck. Is then our conscious mind is running off of old unconscious coping mechanisms from the past that we no longer need. And again, as we find and witness these, accepting these parts will change how your life evolves. And again, just taking a breath in as you continue to focus on your heart center, beyond the body and beyond the mind, and maybe even beyond our emotions. There is an awareness, an energy that animates your body, your inner spark of life. It is always there for you, your eternal presence. And you will know it as an inner peace when you tap into it. As you quiet your mind while focusing on the heart, we move into the heart's gateway to your guidance, to your source. There's often a sense of wholeness when you tap into this field of energy in this state. And when you're in this state, you have access to infinite knowledge. You can tap into the entire field of possibilities. Some call it the 0 point field. It's a field where everything exists, all possibilities, all vibrations, all opportunities, existing in the now and in the moment. But when our unconscious programs are running, we don't see these. We see our past projected onto our future. And we're going to let that go today. So the abundance that you desire of any kind is already here, abundant and infinite. And as you return to your heart space, where you can tap into the guidance from the universe, the clarity, the intuition, and this guides you to your highest potential. There is a theme in your desires, something that you came here to experience. And when you direct your attention and your intention towards your heart's desires, you'll know when you bump into them because it lights you up. It's not things that we should do. It's what are those things that light you up? And then your presence becomes more flowing, more easy, more gentle. It will feel more natural. And as you take the time to explore what is in your heart, what is the abundance you desire? Beyond the ego mind, beyond the shoulds and the fears of life, what is coming into your heart? What would you love to experience more of in this lifetime? Just because you would love it, not because it solves a problem or gets you somewhere or somebody, just because you would love it. And you will know when you come across it and it crosses your mind because it'll feel really good. Even though others might judge it, but for you, it feels right, feels true. That's what counts. What is it that you truly desire from your heart to experience more of? And take a moment to focus on that, allowing your imagination to bring you ideas, options, choices, letting your heart fill into them to see what would bring you the most joy. And as you begin to select one item or topic or thing or abundance that you can feel the joy around, feeling joy is a sign that your soul is lined up with that desire. Again, let's be quiet for a moment while you explore what your imagination is bringing into your awareness. Again, what would you love to experience? Just to experience it. Some people may want to live in a different place. Maybe it's a healthier body. Maybe it's a different job, a different relationship. Just allow yourself to explore the areas of your life. Because if you can imagine it and if you can feel it, you can create it. And keep exploring for just another moment and settle in on one of them because you can always do the audio over. And again, now settle in on one of them, one desire that feels right to you. And you can write it down as a creation in present time, or make it a very short sentence so that you can say it out loud over and over as we go through this process. Because one of the things that I notice when I work with people that have codependency is they really fall into a pattern of, I don't know what to do. And we'll also be addressing that topic as we go through the audio. And as you make it into a short sentence, you're going to say it as if it's already done. It could be, I have the perfect relationship. I love my job. I love myself. It could be, I love to exercise. And it's just going to be a short sentence, and you don't have to believe it right now, but you're going to have the sentence as if it's already completed. And as you say it out loud, often everything that prevents it or there's resistance to it will pop up. And we're going to clear those today. They pop up as a thought, an emotion, a body sensation. Maybe it's an old belief. When you say it out loud, go ahead and let every doubt and fear come up so we can have the superconscious clear it today. Just let everything come to the surface. And I will refer to it as clearing everything that comes into the active experience. It's a lot like cooking. Once you put the heat on the food, you start to smell it cooking. The same thing happens is when you say your true desire out loud, you begin to notice the resistance. And you put the heat of your attention on it. And you can feel the resistance to the very thing you say you desire. So say out loud the first time, your phrase. And I'm just going to use the example of I love myself. So say your phrase out loud. I love myself. And when you say your phrase out loud, what comes to mind? Say it out loud again, because it will allow you to become aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. And then I'm going to begin to work on it. Super conscious, I want you to see the end result. And please focus on your end result for a moment and really choose it. I really want that new job. I really enjoy it. I have it. I have that new job. I have that new relationship. I choose it. So even with the phrase, I love myself, I choose it. I choose to love myself. The outcome of your true desire. How does it feel? Let's take a moment to do that before finishing the clearing. Take a moment to really anchor it in your nervous system. When you have this desired end result, what do you see yourself doing? How does it feel? What do you hear? How is life different? And how does it look when you're thinking about this and feeling it? So, again, let's say it out loud, say your phrase. And then you're going to say out loud the first resistance that you notice. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's resentment, maybe you don't believe it can happen. Just let that come to the surface. And super conscious, I want you to treat all the beliefs coming up, especially the first one surfacing, and then every other belief, emotion, memory, and anything connected or associated to it, with it, and about the belief. And then go and expand to any other limiting beliefs, any of the thoughts, emotions. Treat everything that is coming up in the active experience in the perfect order. And then do a massive history change and everything after that. And take a deep breath. And when you exhale out, the intention is to just let it go. Let's say out loud your desired end result again. And again, imagine how it would look, what you see, what makes it alive, what brings it to life. Make that image bigger and more color. What are the positive emotions you're going to have? Again, say out loud any doubts that are coming up, if any. And super conscious, I want you to keep treating all the beliefs, the emotions, the memories that are coming up in the active experience. And I want you to begin treating everything that's in the first energy center right at the base of the spine. Anything related to safety, security, family, belonging, financial situations. Please treat any beliefs, emotions, memories of the parts and the predispositions that might be challenging the balance of the first energy center. Treat them in the perfect order. And once treated, train them on what to do to live a better life and to increase their vitality and will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything after that. Taking a breath, and as you exhale, just letting it all go. And super conscious, please scan the first energy center and see if there are any cords, contracts, oaths, vows attached to that center. Any cords leading to people, circumstances, events. And now we need to bring back the energy of safety, security, groundedness, imprinting it all back into the center, bringing back all of my energies and releasing all the energies that are not mine, cutting the cords, detaching them, and letting them go, and filling that area with light, filling those areas with my own energies. And any holes that are left in the energy center are now filled with a beautiful blue light that will prevent any cords from reconnecting to that area. And super conscious, go back in time as far as needed. In this lifetime or any other lifetime, where the first chakra, the first energy center of safety, security, and groundedness has been disturbed, unbalanced, weakened, or stagnated. And I want you to treat all of those lifetimes one after another in the perfect order, and then do a massive history change, and everything is needed. Breathing and noticing. And super conscious, I want you to go up the family tree, both the mother's and the father's side. And I want you to find the first generation when the first energy center was really imbalanced and disconnected from abundance, and reconnected to abundance, and reconnect to family belongings, treating any limitations, any scarcity. Go back up the family tree and treat every single generation down to this present generation and into the future, treating the first energy center. Treat them all in the perfect order, and once treated, train all the parts and predispositions on what to do to live a better life and to increase vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything after that. Please treat any vows of poverty, of limitations of any kind, any contracts, any agreements. Dissolve, neutralize, let them go. Treat any that are restricting the abundance. Eliminate any hooks into the collective consciousness or patterns of lack and limitation. Releasing them from the collective consciousness, unhooking and releasing them back into the power of your own source being. Again, returning all of your energies to you and circulating gently any stagnated energies. And please treat all these in the perfect order and do a massive history change and everything after that. And as you exhale, letting it all go, you can see the first energy center as clean and clear and brilliant. For some, it will glow a beautiful bright light. And it's free, it's powerful, connected to safety, security, and groundedness. And again, let's say our heart's desire out loud. The one I selected was, I love myself. And you could say yours out loud. And then say out loud any doubts or fears that are still coming up, if any. And super conscious, continue to treat and reinforce the power of the first energy center, the groundedness, and then go into the second energy center, just under the belly button, supporting the energy of creativity and the energy of joyful creation. As the energy is bringing to life our new desire, super conscious, treat any beliefs, emotions, memories, any parts or predispositions that are affecting the balance of the second energy center, that are affecting our ability to create. Some will see this energy as an orange glow. and treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive history change and everything else that is needed. Again, taking a breath, and as you exhale, letting it all go. And super conscious again, I would like you to go into the generations and treat any generation, anything that is blocking the inspiration, the creativity, success, and the ability to create something new for myself. I want you to go through the generations and find the very first one that felt repressed in its creativity and its ability to express and its ability to create something new, to bring it to the earth, to the planet, maybe possibly a new innovation. Treat anywhere where they may be blocking new artwork, a new business. And I want you to treat the first generation and treat every single other generation after that. Treat and balance the second energy center and all of those generations down to this present generation and into the future, right here, right now. Treat them all in the perfect order. And once treated, again, train those parts and predispositions on what to do to live a better life and to increase their vitality and the will to live. And when appropriate, do a massive history change and everything after that. Just breathing and noticing. And super conscious, go back as far back as needed into the story of the soul. Anytime creativity was repressed, the ability to be successful, to express oneself fully, I ask for this to be healed, to fully realize the soul's mission on this planet. Treat any element of being stuck or prevented from expressing your soul's mission to its fullest. Super conscious, I need you to treat every single one of these missions, these experiences. Treat them all in the perfect order, and once treated, again, train the parts and predispositions on what to do to live their best life, to increase their vitality, and the will to live and create. And once everything is treated, then do a massive history change and everything after that. And super conscious, I ask you to go through and scan the second energy center and locate any cords attached to people, circumstances, events, vows, oaths, agreements related to not being able to express yourself fully because of the fear of oppression or punishment or retaliation. Any agreements that limit your ability to express yourself to the fullest potential. Any connections to a pathological collective consciousness, to limiting beliefs in the collective, and releasing all of this and filling in the space with a beautiful, bright light. And bring back the energy that belongs to the second chakra. Bring back my energies, releasing all that is no longer mine. And super conscious support and boost the energy and the creativity. And unhooking and neutralizing the cords, any contracts, any misalignments. Removing any disempowering elements. And bring the energy back into the second chakra. Continue cutting and dissolving every cord, every attachment, all contracts, agreements, vows that were not made in the highest dimension and the highest energy. Unhook them and return them to their sender and seal the second chakra with the appropriate energy and protection until this energy center is strong enough to run on its own, treating it all in the perfect order. And once treated, again, treat the parts, predispositions on what to do to live their best life, increase their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change in everything as needed. And again, say your desire out loud. And then again, what are the emotions that are coming up? Any body sensations? Any resistance that is not aligned with this new desire? And super conscious, I want you to treat any beliefs, emotions, memories, or parts that are coming into the active experience right now. And once treated, train the parts and predispositions on what to do to live a better life, to increase their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change, and everything is needed. And again, as you exhale, let it all go. And super conscious, I want you to go up into the solar plexus, both front and back. And please treat anything that is related to self esteem, self confidence, self empowerment. Treating any beliefs, emotions, memories, parts, and predispositions that might be challenging the balance of the third energy center. Treating them all in the perfect order, and once treated, train them on what to do to live their best life, increasing their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change, and everything is needed. And super conscious, please go back in time as far back as needed in this lifetime or any other lifetime. Scan and locate the first lifetime where the third energy center and the self lost the ability to feel empowered, to feel confident. And I want you to treat this first lifetime and treat every single other lifetime that follows that has been affected in the third energy center. Treating the concept of existing, increasing self esteem, self confidence, self empowerment, treating them all the perfect order. And once treated, again, teach all the parts and predispositions, memory structures on what to do to live their best life, increasing their vitality and will to live. And then do a massive history change in everything after that. And super conscious, again, I want you to go up the family tree to the very first generation on both a mother and father side, when the solar plexus was affected or imbalanced, or there was any lack of self esteem, self confidence, self empowerment, anywhere where there's a feeling where they felt like a victim, not having any power, not having any choice. And I want you to treat all the generations, one right after another, down to this present generation and into the future. Treat them all in the perfect order, and once treated, train them on what to do to live their best life, how to increase their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything after that. And super conscious, I would like you to scan the third energy center, the solar plexus, again, locating any cords that are attached to people, circumstances, events, memory structures, anything that is disempowering or draining one's energies. Treat any agreements and vows that were made in less than the highest vibration. and neutralize and disconnect any hooks or connections with pathological collective consciousness, creating any limitation and lack. Anywhere where it's creating a group victimhood, a separation from source, superconscious, please treat and bring back the energy that was sucked out of the energy centers. Cleanse the energy and bring the energy back, supporting and boosting the third energy center of self esteem, self confidence, self worthiness. Bring back this energy from all corners of the universe, wherever the fragments may have started, wherever it may be. We are bringing back the energy from all directions back into our solar plexus. And then we're cutting ourselves free from any remaining disempowering agreements, vows, emotions. Please cut and separate and disassociate and rewrite any agreements that must remain in a self empowering way so that everything is in flow and is empowering. Detach from the vows that no longer serve me, rewriting agreements and cutting the cords to separate, disassociate, to re empower our energies, creating a full integrated self, and the ability to make new choices, the ability to take new action. As superconscious, treat and reinforce and balance the harmony of the third energy center, the solar plexus. And again, say your desire out loud and feel the difference from when we started. Notice if there's any joy coming into your heart, even if it's just a little bit, or maybe you just feel a little lighter. Super conscious, please reinforce any of the new positive sensations, positive emotions, and keep treating any beliefs, emotions, memories, parts, predispositions that may be affecting the balance of the third energy center. And again, super conscious, please scan going back in time as far back as needed. And this lifetime or any other lifetime, also going back on the mother and father side, where the heart center was affected. Anywhere where it has challenged the true desire to express oneself, to create something new, to experience beauty. Locate anywhere where it has been denied or repressed, destroyed or suppressed. Anywhere that passion has been turned down in this lifetime or any other lifetime, where you've not been able to fully express yourself, where you've not been able to express your soul's mission from the heart. Superconscious, please clear and rewrite, reinstate the history of our soul with self empowering heart desires, events, situations, so that they can all be expressed through art, language, self empowering emotions, new choices, thoughts, creativity, actions, and words. Having the body and the soul come into alignment with a joyful expression of passion and creativity, aligning the soul's purpose so life is fulfilled and relaxed. Superconscious reinforces new creation, treating all lifetimes to be aligned and open, expressing to the fullest. Expressing it in this lifetime by rewriting the history of in the womb as a baby, during childhood as a teenager, and now as an adult. The soul's mission is getting clearer and clearer and more allowed to express itself up to this now moment where you are fully expressing in this lifetime your soul's mission and your heart's desires. Where you can express your highest level of joy, happiness, abundance, flow, harmony, creativity, and super conscious reinforce this new creation. Take a moment to visualize this in this lifetime, this creation, focusing in your heart using all of your senses. What do you see yourself doing in your new creation and your new desire? What are you hearing? What are you eating? What good things are happening and how does it feel? Feel all of the good feelings and super conscious reinforce this new creation. Reinforce all of these good feelings and then do a massive history change and everything after that. And then moving into the throat chakra, the fifth energy center, where communication about your desire is clear. It's easy to express yourself, especially to yourself, creating a strong, clear communication, connection process with yourself and then others. You're releasing any blocks out of the throat area and super conscious follow the exact process you have used to clear and harmonize the previous energy centers. And continue this process on the fifth energy center until all parts, emotions, and anything else is in perfect order. And again, once everything is treated, train the parts and predispositions on what to do to live their best life, increasing their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything as needed. And as that gets completed, then move into the sixth energy center, the center of the forehead, strengthening clarity, intuition, guidance, increasing the function of the prefrontal cortex and access to its magic. Strengthening the inner focus, the ability to listen in meditation for getting clarity. Releasing the outer need for validation before taking action. Creating a strong, clear communication and connection process with your intuition and your guidance from the universe. You're releasing any blocks out of the forehead area and the prefrontal cortex area of the brain. And super conscious, follow the exact process you used to clear and harmonize the previous centers. And continue this process for the sixth energy center, treating all parts and emotions and anything else in the perfect order. And once treated, again, train the parts and predispositions on what to do to live their best life, increasing their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything after that. And when ready, we're going to move into the seventh energy center, right at the top of the head, connecting with source energy, community, the bigger picture of life, with an infinite intelligence that guides every step of the way, that flows more energy inside of you and your heart and every cell of your body, even in your breath. As you inhale, this light and vitality is spreading through your body as it comes in through the top of your head, clearing and repairing the genetic body, the mental body, the emotional body, the pain body, and anything else that is needed, creating a clear, strong communication and connection process with yourself and your community, your tribe. You're releasing any of the blocks out of your brain area. And superconscious follow the exact process you use to clear and harmonize the previous energy centers. And continue this process for the seventh energy center, treating all parts, emotions, and anything else in the perfect order. And once treated, train them on what to do to live their best life, increase their vitality and the will to live, and then do a massive history change and everything is needed. Continue to reinforce this new state of being, this new creation, and do a massive history change and everything as needed. And as that is completed, then move into the eighth energy center, the center that's above the head, strengthening healthy family connections, bloodlines, passing on positive learned skills and lessons, and self empowering ancestral guidance, treating anything that prevents the passing on of self empowering DNA, family structures, self sovereignty, releasing the outer need for validation before taking action. Because you are now connected to a rich and lively ancestral background. No lifetime was ever wasted. Created a strong, clear communication and connection process with yourself, and a self empowering connection to your ancestors and guidance from the universe. Creating the power of this triad. You're releasing any blocks out of the eighth chakra, out of the eighth center, out of the DNA that no longer serves your highest good. And superconscious follow the exact process you use to clear and harmonize the previous energy centers. And continue this process for the eighth energy center, treating all parts, fields, emotions, DNA, and everything else and anything else in the perfect order. And once they are treated, again, train the parts and predispositions on what to do to live their best life, increasing their vitality and the will to live. Then do a massive history change in everything as needed. And fields, may you find peace. With gratitude for those who came before us and self gratitude for all that you've worked on today, we will begin to close the session. And super conscious, please anchor everything we have touched today into memories 1, 2, and 3, and any other memories and any other systems, including ego states, tandem memories, shadow memories, all levels of physiology, all the energy centers, any energy systems, balancing all 7 elements of the body, the DNA, different timelines, all dimensions of consciousness. And as you take another breath, super conscious, ground the memories we have touched today and reconnect them into the matrix of the universe. Stay in this new expanded state for a moment. You've done a lot of deep work today. Eat well, sleep well, and stay hydrated for the next 3 days to support all the great repatterning that you've done today. And with your permission, I will close the session. and as you bring yourself back, this one was a little bit longer. It definitely is important to be able to learn what to do and to get that intuitive information of, what am I supposed to be doing next? So this audio is also great to bring in a more grounded sense of being. And of course, you can leave me a comment, in the comment box below of how this was for you. If there's any topics that came up that maybe you would like me to make an audio and address. And of course, I will see you in the next audio.